self-accountability. It's so many things that are not our fault, but they're our responsibility. It's so many things that we didn't cause, but we have to handle. Our environment, our circumstances, statistics, chances, none of that stuff is our fault, but it's still our responsibility. A buffalo does not ask to be born in the jungle. It's not his fault that he's born in the jungle, but it is his responsibility to survive that jungle because the alternative is death. He didn't ask for that. It's not his fault that he was born in a jungle with hyenas and lions and alligators and hippos. All of these things that are trying to destroy him. It's none of that is his fault, but it is his responsibility to survive because the alternative is death. It is not your fault that you grew up in the house that you grew up in, that you grew up in the neighborhood that you grew up in, that you had access to the education that you had. None of that stuff is your fault, but it's still your responsibility. It's still your responsibility to survive through that because the alternative is death. Once you take on that mentality, hey, this is not my fault, but it's my responsibility. Once you start thinking like that, you're not going to be looking for somebody to pass a law for your life to change. You're not going to be looking for a stimulus check for your life to change. You're not going to be looking for somebody to come and save you for your circumstances to change because my circumstances are not my fault, but it is still my responsibility. I am accountable for myself. And so I find myself in the midst of these circumstances, in the midst of this situation, and it might be somebody else's fault, but it's my responsibility. So what am I going to do to change it? What resources do I have to change this, to improve it, to make this better? What do I have to do first? Because the person that hurt you does not have the power to heal you. The person whose fault it is, they can't reverse those circumstances. And even if they do, they can't reverse the effect and the impact that it had on you. Because it's your responsibility. So I don't care what circumstances you find yourself in, what your family situation was, what you didn't have, what support was missing, what resources were not available. That's true for a lot of us. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. That's just the facts. Once you acquire that mentality, your whole world is going to change. Because now you are not looking from the outside for solutions. You're looking from within. You're looking at what resources do you have within to change those situations. And if you don't have the right resources, guess what? Now you got to go get it. Now you got to go empower yourself with knowledge, with talents, with abilities, with gifts. You have to figure it out because nobody else is going to do it. Self-accountability. I am accountable to myself. That's the first step. Self-accountability. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility.